Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Iniqua I Refined Beauty. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be making seafood gumbo. Yummy. So, you'll need shrimps, rock crab meat, imitation crab meat, any type of seafood that you want. Make sure that you have some sausages. You can have chicken, turkey, beef, pork. I don't eat pork, so I'll stick with chicken. And you can have any type of fish that you want. Just make sure that you don't overdo it. Just one fish will be fine. After we clean the fish, we're going to start cutting up the sausage. So I like to cut my turkey sausages pretty thin. Make sure that you use enough according to how many people will be eating. I'm going to use about 6 or 7 because I have a big family and they're greedy and everyone wants to eat. So that's how we do it over here. Then you have your fish. You can cut your fish up into cubes. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, not too big and not too small because you don't want it to break up. You want it to just cut it like medium size just so that you can have little chunks and it can fry well. After you cut the fish, you mix it in a bowl with the sausage and then you get ready for your lump crab meat. That's the imitation crab meat that I told you about. So after I finish cutting up this fish, I'm gonna get the lump crab meat. And here we go. So I do the same thing. I repeat the same steps with the crab meat. I cut them up into medium-sized chunks so that I can mix it with the mixture of sausage and fish. Also, make sure that you have already cut on your oil so that it can be getting a little bit warm. Don't cut it up too high while you're cutting up these meats so that once you're finished, you can season it and put it right in the oil. So now I'm going to season it with Old Bay. And at this point, definitely your oil you should be turning it on, or it should be on already. You only need to put a little bit of oil. You can put probably about 3 tablespoons because you want to save some of the oil for the end so that you can make the sauce a little bit thick. And I'll show you how to do that towards the end of the video. So right now, I'm just gonna finish up with the Old Bay, and then I'm gonna stick this meat in the pan and wait for it to get a brownish color. Here goes my oil, and here goes my meats. Let's just put it right in there. As you can see, I'm hands-on. That's how I like to cook. But just put it in there, put it all in the pot, and just let it fry. That's not too packed, that pot. That's good. Just let it fry, and you'll be good. Now, while that is frying, you should get a stew pot, and you empty the chicken gumbo mixture in there. If you don't want to use chicken gumbo, the store-made soup, you can just use any type of broth. Chicken, beef, shrimp, seafood. Add a few carrots, some peppers, a little bit of rice, and you'll be good to go. But for right now, I have the already made mixture, so I just add some mixed garlic into that. I stir that around and let that cook. I love my wooden spoon right there, so I put like 2 spoonfuls of the minced garlic in the pot and let it cook. Also, I'm going to add in some of my favorite Cajun spice. It's from McCormick. I really like it. It gives it a little kick, a little bit of oomph. It adds some flavor, and it reminds you of like Louisiana style, some real gumbo, like if I'm over there. Also, so after you do that, you just let it mix together and you'll be good. Let it sit there for a little while, mix together. Now, on to my favorite seafood, the crabs. Make sure that you mix the crabs, the mussels, and the shrimp all together. Wash it off good, and you add some Old Bay. Go back and make sure that you check on the sausage, fish, and imitation crab meat mixture to make sure that it's not burnt. You just want it to be like a nice golden brown so that that flavor seeps in. Also go and check on the soup. Turn that down a little bit because you don't really want it boiling that much. And right here, this is almost about brown. I'm gonna let it cook for a little while longer, and then I am going to put this mixture without the oil inside of the soup pot with the chicken gumbo soup. Just let that cook for a little while longer. Always got to do a little taste test. Now I added about 6 cups of water to this gumbo mixture because I'm adding a lot of things to it, and it actually kept good flavor with that much water. I probably could have added a little bit more, but I like it really flavorful, so that was good enough for me. And after I do that, I'm going to put the sausage mixture inside the soup, and I'm gonna let that all boil together so that it get the nice sausagey crab meat fish flavor. Now with that oil that I told you not to throw out, you're going to add some flour into that oil. Now what this is going to do is it's going to make your gumbo a little bit thicker so that it's not so watery like a soup. It'll be a little bit like a paste, a little. You want it to be a little bit thicker. You don't want it to be so thin. So you let this cook until it gets a little brownish, more brownish. And then you can just pour that right into the pan of the gumbo. So I'm just gonna let this cook for about 2-3 minutes. I like to smash up the little flour in there. Let it cook for about 2-3 minutes. And once it's brownish, you can throw it right in the pot with the gumbo. And it'll help to make your gumbo thicker. Okay, so here we go. The mixture of flour and oil, as you can see now it's brown, and I'm just going to mix that in with the gumbo. Now it's time to add the seafood. Here we go. Just dump everything right in there. You want to stir it and make sure that you pick the sausages and everything up from the bottom of the pan. Move it to the top, let that seafood get down to the bottom. And you want to make sure that you put the shrimps and the crab and the mussels last, because those things don't take very long to cook. I mean, once you put these in, you want to cook it for about maybe 20 to half an hour tops, because you don't want the crabs and the mussels to get mushy, because then it just doesn't taste good once it's mushy. But I'm loving the color of this so far, and I know that this is going to be a good meal. Can you see it? Can you see the formation? Beyonce, get in formation. And you just seal that with the lid. Let it cook for about 20-30 minutes. And voila! You're finished. Now you can serve with any condiment that you like. Noodles, rice, salad even, if you don't want to go too heavy. And I put a few avocados on there. Give it a little bit more color. But it was delicious. So thanks for joining my page.